Out of all the wheel brands you could possibly buy for like a staggered BMW or a McLaren or a Ferrari, a one-piece wheel, Rohana Wheels has to be one of the best brands you can possibly snag. I don't know what it is about the brand, but every single thing that they seem to come out with just works perfectly. But one of the key things I love about Rohana Wheels and why you might be watching this video is because these are one-piece wheels that come in a drastically wide range of sizes, which means they fit just about anything and everything. And they decided to give us a new wheel that we get to take a special peek at first before everyone else. So I'm Alex Martini. Welcome to Martini Works Unbox, where we unbox products so you can see exactly what it is that you're getting if you snag it from Martini Works. Now, hopefully, if you are looking for wheels or tires, be sure to get it from the homies that are giving the homie hookup here for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we're only doing the deals that actually make sense. And if you have any questions on the website, you can just reach out to us using the little chat thing in the corner. You're actually just talking to myself or Carissa. We'd be happy to help you out. With that being said, let's jump into this. So this is the Rohana RFX19. They sent it to us in 3 different colors, so we get to see what it looks like. And I'm gonna be going into some of the weight, the specs, overall first impressions, what the concavity looks like, and of course, if it's worth it or not. We're pretty unbiased here when it comes to wheels, because we just figure we want to be honest with you. Now, Rohana's been along for the ride for a long time. We've been with them. We've known them for almost a decade. Actually, one of their main warehouses is in Chicago. So we're really excited to see this. They've been moving a lot of their wheel models over to rotary forge. They call it like cross forge technology. It used to have like the RC10 that was super popular. Now they built that into an RFC10, things like that. So Rohana's investing in their wheels. This one is probably the wildest one, I would say, since the RFX, I'd probably say 10. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
I almost got it perfect. Look at this wheel. This is nuts. Okay, so first impressions right out of the gate. This design is gonna look very familiar to what you're seeing going off over in the supercar world right now. If you go look at Bugattis, if you go look at Lamborghinis, they're doing this weird thing on the outer lip of their wheels. And typically in a 3-piece wheel, this is like a whole different assembly piece for their wheel. Rohana has somehow managed to manufacture the entire thing as a single 1-piece wheel. Now this is one of their finishes. You got a nice little hyper silver finish. It's not brushed. Something I thought is that it was going to be brushed, but it's actually more of like a polished look to it. On the inside of the spoke is more of a semi-gloss silver, so you still get a lot of sparkle. The clear is gorgeous on this wheel. Honestly, if there's one thing that Rohana does super well, it is their finishes. I think because their wheels are still made not in China, I think they're made in Taiwan. And I will correct myself here in a quick second once I confirm that, but this is one of my favorite finishes that Rohana does. That is that bronze finish. Now it does have a really cool element of almost a 2-tone style color, which is just sick. On the face of the wheel and also this outer like half turbofan that you see here, it's like a glossy brown. It's a very like, almost like a caramel brown. And then if you go inside here, you're gonna see like a darker brown. So it definitely gives it a ton of depth. And the concavity on this wheel is pretty gnarly. Let me see if it'll tell me the size on the back. We are looking at a 20x10 RFX19 Rohana. Now we have the silver, we have the bronze, we got one color left. Of course, that is sometimes everyone's favorite color. It is personally my least favorite color out of everything you can do on a wheel, but it still looks absolutely incredible. This is their gloss black. I'm sure they have a fancier name for it, but it is by and large gloss black. So you get that as well. Overall, super gorgeous wheel. Gotta say, out of the 3, I think the bronze still takes the cake, followed by the silver, followed by the black. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. When you have this design, you got a lot of stuff going on. It has that simulated multi-piece kind of styling without it being gaudy. I actually really like the way that this wheel looks. And because it's coming in sizes up to that 20-inch diameter, you're pretty much gonna get everything that you would need for these sort of wheels to fit on things like GTRs, M3s, M4s, R8s, pretty much anything in that mid-upper end European market, but you're getting it in a 1-piece wheel, which means it's gonna be more affordable than going into something that's a 2-piece or 3-piece equivalent. Now, Rohanas haven't always been the most affordable wheel option. You are still investing quite a bit to get these wheels. And the only other thing that you're gonna wanna keep in mind is while this design is super cool, it is gonna add a pretty good amount of weight to it. Now we are gonna weigh these to see what they come in at, but essentially because this is a 1-piece wheel, this whole thing was designed in the wheel mold when they were making the wheels. So this whole thing is all 1 piece, and you're looking at about 1.5 inches of added metal. And then you're also looking at what looks to be or feels to be like 2.5 inches of metal on the back in between each spoke. So there is quite a bit more that's on this wheel. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna say this would probably look best on like the M3, M4 platforms. I think it would look absolutely killer on a GTR. I think it would look absolutely sick on some newer Audis as well, because Rohana does a really good job with making their wheels look like they just fit well. They're not too exaggerated, but they're not understated. You can tell they're aftermarket, but they don't go out of their way to be wild and crazy. Now I'm gonna move the silver one over so we can take a look at the spokes in greater detail. Now the spokes, it's not just your typical like 5-spoke split or anything like that. You actually get a little bit more happening on these spokes. You have this recession that happens on the bend here. It gives the overall Y more of like a sportier design. And then you're gonna see that you also have this kind of like indentation coming into the lug hole as well. Just gives it a lot of depth. It allows you to see that there's more push in on the wheel design. A lot of the times when we look at wheel designs, if they're flat, it's not just the concavity that makes a design look flat. It's also the spoke design. It's how they're layering the design that can sometimes make it look flat. The more simple the spoke, the flatter design will typically look. And Rohana did everything but that with this wheel. Now, because this is a 20-inch, it actually doesn't look like it at all. The actual face of the wheel looks like an 18-inch, and then you've got this huge lip behind it that's making it look even bigger. The spokes do not go to the lip. Something that was iconically a Rohana thing was that they always had the spokes go to the lip, so it's a little bit of a change up. You got the Rohana logo over here, and of course you've got something kind of new, which I thought was interesting, that I didn't really notice until now. You have some bead knurling on the inside of the barrel. Now, how much track racing are you gonna do on these? I'm not too sure if you're gonna do any. Could you? Absolutely. You still get a rotary forged wheel from Rohana, so you're still getting a cast face with a forged like barrel. We've talked about it a million times. They take a chunk of metal, they heat it up, they roll it out using rollers, and essentially you get the width that you want. The bead knurling is a nice touch. It helps with tire grip if you have any sort of high horsepower applications, which with a GTR or with an Audi R8, you might just have that. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with the weight that we talked about again is if we're looking at a wheel that has a cast face, this likely is also cast. So it's gonna add more weight even on top of what I talked about before. So we should probably just weigh it so I stop talking about the weight and I shut up about it. If you're wondering what the price is on a set of these, you're probably gonna be looking at anywhere between $500 to like $680 a wheel. So you're looking at right around $2,100 to $2,400, could be a little bit more depending on what you need. If you're looking for lug and offset ranges, you're pretty much gonna get a pretty wide range. So your 5 lug is gonna be covered, your 5x114.3, your 5x112, your 5x120. I'm assuming Rohana is also gonna bring this into a 5x130. If not, let us know and we can let Rohana know so they can bring this in Porsche fitment as well. Obviously we go from 18 all the way up to 20-inch. You're gonna see offset ranges from your plus 22 or plus 15, probably all the way up to your plus 40 or even plus 50. It is gonna change the concave styling of the Rohana wheels. Now we're gonna have specific offsets for you on the website, so you can head over to martiniworks.com to see if you're getting the exact wheel size that you need, but this is still a brand new wheel from Rohana. So they're introducing it in certain fitments. They might expand on it, they might kind of bring it down. It's all gonna be dependent on how people take to this wheel, which if you have a thought, let us know below. But we are looking at a 20-inch wheel and the weight of the old bronzy boy, 28.9 pounds. Actually, not that bad. I was expecting this to be an over 30-pound wheel with this little outer design, and for it to come in at a 28.9 is not bad considering the design. Now, here's what I will say. If you guys are looking for just straight weight savings, you're looking for the lightest possible wheel, This one's probably not gonna be for you. This is more of a looker wheel that just so happens to be cross-forged, so it's lighter in the barrel, but the face is still gonna be a cast design. So you are gonna have to keep that in mind. Now they did try to shave as much weight as they possibly could, which is probably what got us below the 30-pound number, because if you look on the back pad here, you're gonna see the hole cutouts here. You're gonna see that this back pad has been shaved, and you can tell that they're not really leaving a whole lot on the back pad, which means they are coming out with multiple molds, which is good. A lot of things that you can see from the back of a wheel is gonna tell you how much they're invested into the design. If you saw this back pad with a ton of metal on it, it means that they're not making as many molds and they're getting the offset you want by shaving that back pad down. If you see a very narrow back pad and you see there's a lot of different concavity profiles, that means a company like Rohana is opening up a lot of molds in different concave profiles because they believe the wheel's gonna do super well. In this case, it looks like the wheel's gonna do super well. I'm confident that it's gonna do super well. It is a little bit pricier, it's a mid-tier wheel. I would still give it a inspired by design title if we were on the website. And the reason that I say that is because it is carrying some design elements, particularly around the lip. But at the end of the day, we still need to see if these things can hold up to motorsport before we give them the old OG title on the website. With that being said, gorgeous wheel, center cap, all metal, we love that. The color is fantastic. The finish is great. The packaging was awesome. And Rohana's always done a really good job, which is making a really good wheel. They look fantastic. And I think if you're looking for something that's gonna give it more of that luxury OE plus kind of styling without going into a $4,000 set of wheels, the Rohana RFX19, which is a brand new wheel from Rohana, might be a really solid option. The most important thing to remember though is that if you're looking for wheels, you get them from martiniworks.com. And if you're looking to get tires packaged with it, we can actually do that. We'll mount them and balance, and then we can ship them to you so that all you have to do is throw these wheels on your car. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on the wheels, let us know below. We'd be happy to answer them. And of course, if you need more information on Rohana, you can check it out over at martiniworks.com. I'm Alex Martini. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.